think I discovered at an early age that I was pretty good with using my hands. I still like to design things from scratch and come up with new ways of doing something or something that looks cooler. The passion in me is becoming attached to a job and you throw everything at it, and when the car leaves you can really put your signature on it, and that's, you know, I built that and there's no one that can take that off me. I'm Aaron Gregory. This is my 1951 Chevrolet called Memphis Hell. So I'm not one of those kids who's been to the car since at the age of 8 like most other car people are. So I was like, I'm not doing what Dad wants to do. You know, I'm not going to go find nuts and bolts in the garage. I'll go do something else. So through school it was graphics and woodwork, as far away from metalwork and stuff as I could. I started competing in sailing at an early age, and that took me around the world with World Championships and around Australia competing. Eat, sleep, breathe boats, and so I'm going to do that as a career. Did my trade apprenticeship and then stuck with that for another 4 years before the car bug sort of crept in at the age of 21, 22. I was sailing at World Championships in Canada at Lake Eyre, and there was a sweet Chevy Silverado sitting in the car park, and that sort of got the car bug sort of started there. So got the cheap man Silverado, dual cab Holden Rodeo. I didn't really know what a mini truck was, or there was an Australian mini truck scene. So I was like, well, let's get a dual cab Rodeo, put the space cab tub in the back, make it a bit longer, droid front bar, 17-inch centre lines, lowered with 2-inch lowering blocks, and wound the front torsion bars down. And I thought I was the sickest kid in Ocean Grove, and I very quickly learnt some of the errors of my ways and which way the Australian mini truck scene was. Once a month we had a Melbourne mini truck meet. There was 2 guys back then, Pete Lamb and Brendan Carroll, who worked at Holden building the concept cars, and they needed someone they could put on the tool straight away who had fiberglass experience and was in the car. So started working at Holden Concept Design Studio, building the fiberglass cars, which are in essence a boat upside down. I sort of started down the path of metal fab as well as a fiberglass fab, and cars have sort of consumed me since. I moved to Sydney. I know Chad and Laurie from the Chop Shop. He had a push to get a bare metal HR to MotorEx on display. So that was the start of like a 4-year period with Laurie in the Chop Shop as well. So this is a Fisherman's Bend built cab. All I got was the cab forward, so doors, cab, front guards and bonnet, which was a really good blank canvas. I could really let fly artistically and build what I wanted out of it. The Chev was brought for 1,500 bucks. I brought a Holden Rodeo for 200 bucks off a mate, and I brought a VP Commodore for 2,000 bucks. Genuine BT Wombre. The cab went off for sandblasting and comeback, and floor was useless. All the cab corners were useless. The plan was, well, if I'm going to use a Rodeo chassis, you know, I didn't want to go grafting a front end onto a little bit of Chev chassis and then notching and grafting on a bit of rear chassis, you know, just to keep one cross member, which is just a whole bunch of mess. I was like, let's just do one thing start to finish. So there was a bit of a slow burn there for a while I was in Ocean Grove. And then I moved to Sydney. One weekend, Laura was like, you know, let's bring your Chev up here and we'll get stuck into that too. So we had this nut brain idea, let's take it to MotorEx this year, 3 months out. I think having deadlines and thrashing gets the car done quicker and probably better. I still probably wouldn't be driving this thing around if we hadn't thrashed. I definitely think there is some much better memories with the car. There's much more better stories to tell when you've had 2 hours sleep and you're surviving on V's and Red Bulls. I do remember at one stage I couldn't get the wiper motor to start, and the reason why there's Raptor line on the front now is because I threw a broom at it. So yeah, we made the deadline of MotorEx 2012, sort of made all those stupid hours worth it. So yeah, the VP 304 went into it with the disc brake LSD diff as well, and the 2-piece tail shaft, 304 motor, but Harrop low-rise, Holly carby, decent sized cam, nothing special, just a set of pacemaker extractors. But again, it's not a race car, it's not a burnout monster, it's just a nice cruiser. The front's been airbag. In the rear, step up notch, triangulated 4-link, airbagged again, so it lays flat on the running boards. Body-wise, the bonnet, so it was actually cut into 4 pieces to get the gaps right to the guards. The centre strip was welded shut, all the badge holes were taken out. Because they're a popular car in the States, repro parts are good, so front bumper and grille was out of the States. Keeping the Aussie theme going, just some EH headlight rings and some Volkswagen little spouts over the top. Shaved doors, all the inner guards and rad support was fabbed from scratch. Most Chevs, the running boards are probably 75mm lower than the bottoms of the doors. I've actually lifted the running boards up to the doors, cut the back off the guards so the car actually lays flat. And then of course moving to the back, just completely started from scratch. Which is cool. Some people still question me and go, what sort of car is this? So I guess it does tie in with the whole car. The curves on the front, try and get some sort of curves in the back, because from the factory they're quite bread boxy and commercial, so I'll try something different. I really like the way the body line through the cab now runs into the top of the wheel tub, so it flows through front to back. And there was a lot of work in it. Like there's a lot of curves, nothing straight, nothing's in a straight folder, and a lot of fabrication and welding involved in it. There's a lot of time there. It was one of those things with the olive colour of the paint, it sort of narrows your field on what the interior colour can be. So I really like that raw sort of chocolate brown leather colour. So the square weave carpet, the tweed and the chocolate coloured leather throughout, which really worked for the olive, I think. If they're not talking about the back of the truck, they're always talking about the colour. If I had $1 for every time I got asked the colour, I'd probably have a couple $100, put it that way. I've had the car on the road 5 years now, so I may as well tell you. It's a BMW messing metallic, it's called. Factory colour, go for your life. You'll always be second. It's literally a day, but it's got way nicer curves.